family unit is overrun. When the structure is undone, some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick.
Welcome back to the Franchise Podcast. I'm Joe Arrigo. With me is my brother, TQ.
Yeah. We back in the building, baby.
Looking good in Dodger Blue.
Hey, man, come on. You know, I had to switch it up a little bit, man. I had on a Giants gear last week. You know what I'm saying? I had on my red FUNR t-shirt last week. Had to switch it up, man.
I thought it was for two reasons. I thought it was a franchise sports hat, not a Giants hat.
I mean, it is, but, you know, I got some backlash, bro. Whenever I support the San Francisco Giants, I get a lot of backlash because of...
I was one of them.
You know, I have issues, so they say, with the teams that I support. I don't care, but, you know, it is what it is. They don't like that I like the Raiders and the 49ers, and they don't like that I like the Dodgers and the Giants.
That's ass backwards. And then
call it whatever you want, man. It is what it is.
Well, you said you wore this for Timmy T.
Yeah, because, like, he tried to give it to me in the press room the other day. He was sitting there in all this Padres glory. You know what I'm saying? Because of that snafu of a playoff appearance that we had a couple of months ago. And yeah, he's just sitting there all gloating. Now, not to mention, they had just got put on their ass and knocked out of the affairs also. But he just couldn't wait for me to walk into the room because, boy, I gave him hell. In the middle of the season when we was whooping their ass like they stole something.
Speaking of people whooping people's ass like they stole something, we're going to talk high school football, talk about the three teams locally that's playing for state championships at the 4A and 5A level. We're going to talk about the GOAT having a conversation that is got one tweet over 11 million views.
Bro.
And he's had some interesting things, and I actually got some really good opinions on it. I actually watched a lot of that this morning.
Man.
But I want to start off with the Raiders.
Just go from bad news to worse news.
No, you know what? No.
What do you mean no?
I found a silver lining.
What do you mean no?
I'm Mr. Sunshine. I found a silver lining.
Man, start at 2-7.
I'm not talking about that.
They're 2-7 after picking up Devontae Adams. My quarterback was crying on the podium.
Let's talk about that right there. That's where we're starting. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm the type of person, and you know this, where I give credit where credit is due, and I'm critical when it's time to be critical. Am I not? I think I'm pretty fair. Okay,
kind of. You ain't giving them kids at Shadow Ridge enough props. We'll get to that later.
Okay, whatever. We'll get to that. But I love what Derek Carr did on Sunday, and that was the most authentic and genuine Derek Carr that I've seen since he became a Raider quarterback. And let me tell you why. I've never questioned whether or not he genuinely loved the Raiders or loves the Raiders, loves being their quarterback, cares about winning. I've never questioned that. But what he did is he finally took someone to task and called out, didn't use a name, but called out a player, which Vinny Bonsignor said is Darren Waller.
He told you that?
No, it's out there in the tweet.
Really?
He wrote an article about it in a newspaper.
Wow.
So I say that Devontae Adams also said something similar about players need to buy in, and not everybody's bought in, and that's part of the reason why things are the way they are. But that Derek Carr, and it's funny, I was with Kalani Lua from the main event, and we were talking about this and why I feel he's disingenuous, right?
Y'all was eating brownies?
No.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
You was with Kalani. He had no brownies.
He was eating. I wasn't eating. Let's be real.
Makes sense.
But he was like, "What do you want the quarterback to say? It's my fault. You says it all the time." And I was like, "I don't know, but it's got to be something different." And then I seen the press conference, and I sent him a link, and I'm like, "This is what I want my quarterback to say."
I mean, man, I got mixed feelings about the situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Raider fan. Been a Raider fan since I was a child. I don't want to see my quarterback crying about anything, period. It just doesn't go with the silver and black, as far as I'm concerned. Call me a meathead, bonehead, whatever.
Some other type of head.
I don't care. It is what it is, and it's a lot of us that feel that way. We don't want to see our quarterback crying. That being said, there are a lot of people in Raider Nation that question Derek Carr about everything.
And that's wrong. That's wrong to me.
I just want to go back before we got Derek Carr and look at the stretches of Andrew Walters and Jamarcus Russell's and
Can I tell the Jamarcus Russell story in the car?
man.
Me and Squeeze, he was doing a radio hit at my radio station.
Don't stop. Stop.
No.
Don't do it.
No.
Do not do it.
And we're in his Land Rover,
Listen, man,
Range Rover.
Raider Nation is at the bottom right now. We do not want to endure this. We don't want to endure this, man.
It was just
we
you,
just
me,
seen
big
our
man, and him,
quarterback
dog.
crying. Either way, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. It's a rough time for us. Did you see Aaron Rodgers on the podium crying Sunday? All right, don't take us back to times worse than this one. Let's stay in the moment, please, sir. This is for Raider Nation.
I'm going to tell the story at some point.
Jeez. Yeah, tell it next week. How about that? Maybe we get a win. Who do we play this week? The Broncos. We can beat them. And bro, this is rough.
Look on his face was like, wait, what'd I just say?
It's rough, man. It's rough. I'm having a rough time.
But
having a rough time.
But you're right, though. The quarterback play from Rich Gannon to Derek Carr in between.
Trash, man.
Jason Campbell wasn't bad, though.
He was okay. He got hurt, right?
Yeah, that's the only one that probably wasn't bad, to be honest.
He was okay. He was cool. But, I mean, bruh. Whew.
But I say this, though. But I like that with Carr. But he gets too much blame for everything.
Yes.
But then again, he gets
from yourself also. Yes.
Not from
You've
everything.
Been known
I'm
to blame
no.
DC for everything.
Up until the end of last year, I've been called a Derek Carr apologist.
I don't see how.
Because this is what and Kalani brought this up about him. He gets blamed for everything. There's always built-in excuses.
What do you mean?
Or reasons. Reasons or excuses depending on how you look at it.
Explain.
Never had weapons.
Didn't have weapons for a long part in his career.
Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, Murray. I mean, he's had weapons. Didn't have an offensive line. Well, up until a couple years ago, as you said, he had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Yeah, he did. The
only excuse or reason is he never had a defense that was top 20, and thanks to to CJ Baldwin for pointing that out a couple years ago.
Wait a minute.
Oh, and the coaches having
hold on.
1,000 coaches in 4 years.
You mean to tell me on the franchise podcast you're gonna credit CJ Baldwin for the Raiders defense when you're sitting right next to moi? As many times as I've talked about the need for defense, you're going to sit right here and give the credit to CJ Baldwin. I just saw CJ at the game last week.
CJ great. He's with George Takata.
That's my dude. That's my dude. But ain't no way you can sit here and give the credit.
He wrote the damn article on Franchise Sports Media in 2019, 2020. And he gave specific reasons, data, everything.
I have been praying for God, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, anybody to deliver the Raiders a defense since I was a child, bro. I was literally a child. I think the last time they really, really had a defense was like in the Super Bowl when they played like Washington.
With Big Dex. What about when Big Dex was
I was a child. The point is I was a child. So that's got to be said, number one. And I don't understand why over all of this time, Raider Nation could place so much of the blame in Derek Carr's lap and not even mention the ineptitude of the defense. This defense this year is garbage, my friends. It's trash.
Speaking French now. They
don't have, number one, I've said it already on numerous episodes.
Every episode we ever done.
This system seems to be a bit much for them. They don't seem to understand it. I feel like there's a dynamic going on over the team where, because I heard Derek Carr mention this and you said something about it last week, a week before last, about we don't do things that way here or something to that.
Carr said that in a press conference.
I think there may be a bit of a tug of war there.
Yes.
I think the Raiders believe, that group of players believe that they achieved something great last year by getting to the playoffs. I think that Josh McDaniels' standards are much higher than getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell is going to the playoffs?
It doesn't mean anything to him.
Rings,
because he looks at himself as a 6-time Super Bowl winner, something like that. Yeah. All right. I think the team is looking at him like, no, sir. You was the OC. That's Belichick and that's Tom Brady. And we don't see neither one of them here. And this shit that you pushing right here, it's not working for us.
But he's the head coach.
And what we was doing last year got us to the playoffs. And we had this place, wow. And it was sold out. So that tug of war, I don't see that dynamic changing.
Okay, but
until this system wins. This system is not going to win this year because they don't know the system.
Okay, but
they don't want to learn it now.
If, let's just say, if you're correct, which I actually agree with you, just for the record.
All right.
They need to understand, how many Super Bowls did Bill Belichick win without Josh McDaniels?
You might be right.
And then how? But
I get your point.
And the next point is how many Super Bowls did Bill Parcells win without Bill Belichick? I could tell you that it's 0.
I mean, hey, do you want to go in the locker room and sell that point? Because you're not in there. All I'm doing
Dave,
I'm telling you what it looks like. The situation is there, and the only way to fix it, somebody's got to go. And the owner already told you that it's not going to be Josh McDaniels and co.
But I like that.
It's going to be some players. I like that too. I can't lie to you.
I'm going to tell you why. I know I'm not going to steal your point with it, but I'm going to say mine. Oh,
really?
No, I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm going to say mine publicly.
Oh, okay, well, thank you. Thanks for stealing my point.
You have actually big boys in the room. And I'm going to explain what I mean. John Gruden was a phenomenal head coach the first time around. But when he came back, he was Chucky. He was a caricature of himself. He wasn't that same coach. And I
think he just had an ego. He had a bigger ego.
To go back to it, he made adjustments the first time. The second time here, there was no second half adjustments.
I think it comes from ego. You could say the same thing for Josh McDaniels right now.
No,
I say the same thing for Josh McDaniels right now.
But you got
he's completely made the wrong adjustment over and over again this season. Call it whatever you want. That's what he's done. It's times when he's throwing the ball through the roof. In the first half, he comes out the second half and tries to run it. It's other times when it's the other way around, and players get tired of that kind of stuff, man. It is what it is. And I'm not saying he ain't trying. I ain't saying he don't want to win. This has got to be hell for him. More so than it isn't for anybody else. Him and Devontae, they the ones that are used to winning.
Man.
So it's got to be hell for them to be in this situation. That's why I don't pour everything on Josh McDaniels. But I also think that there's a bit of his side of that tug of war that I was talking about earlier, having the most power because he's the head coach. And he's going to keep on running this. After he's been shown already you don't have the personnel for it, or these guys don't get it, or they've tuned you out, because there's an element of all three of those things on that team on both sides of the ball. So going forward, the writing's on the wall. Looks like DC's gone.
Do you think that's why he was crying the other day?
I think he's crying because he's putting his all into it. Period.
And he's just frustrated.
He's frustrated, man. When you putting your all into it, you sacrificing your time. You know what I'm talking about here? You know what I'm talking about here? You sacrificing
you have no
your time.
idea.
You talking about your family, like your sanity, all of it. And like he was saying at the podium, the things that you have to do just to get ready to get on the field, any field, like to constantly see that happening over and over again. Last year was so much hope.
Mm-hmm.
You could see, for whatever reason, Bisaccia got guys to play above their talent level.
But do you think that maybe everything that happened last year galvanized them to where it was just like, you know what? Screw it. Like we're playing with house money anyway. We know Rich probably ain't gonna keep the job. We know Mike's probably gonna be gone. Half of us is probably gonna be gone. Let's just go out and do our thing.
Because I looked at the post game locker room meetings after those last 5 games last year, and it was just like watching Washington. I saw Washington beat Philly last night. Saw Big Ron in the
love him.
Look, they loved playing for that dude. They loved that dude. That team last year, for whatever reason, they loved Rich Bisaccia.
Well,
and they went out and played for him. This year, to a man, they don't love Josh McDaniels, man. Josh McDaniels has a way. He was taught that way. That way is rigid. That way is not fun. It's not nice. They probably believe he's an asshole. He don't care. It's relentless. You're going to practice longer. It's going to be harder. You're going to know more. You're going to have to study more. You're going to have to learn more here than you're going to have to do it anywhere else.
You know who
if
you sounds like?
Don't like it, go somewhere else. There's something that comes with that. We're going to lose.
You know who that sounds like? Who you just described? You know who that sounds like to a T?
Actually,
Kobe
yes,
Bryant.
Yeah, exactly. And I do a lot with reading a book that Trish bought me for my birthday or for Christmas, the Mamba Mentality book.
Mm-hmm. We all have it.
And it's like, it's not fun to play with that if you don't have that type of mentality. And I love that mentality. I believe that it wins. But I also believe going forward, the type of player coming out of college, I don't know if that's the Josh McDaniels player. I don't know if his way is going to translate to success because of just the psyche of the players going forward as opposed to the ones that he came from. So like if you go back, I said this, but let's go a little deeper on it.
Yes, let's.
Go back to those Patriots. Look at all of the ex-Patriots that are on TV doing something of significance that takes a serious brain to do. All of the analysts.
Or coaching with Mike Vrabel.
I'm saying he's on TV. He's on TV doing something that's not easy to do.
Right.
Right? So, and they go across the board. They coach in college. They coach in the pros. They're constantly getting the TV jobs. They're cerebral, man. They're cerebral and they to a fault. And those are the kind of people that can fit inside of that rigid structure and thrive. And these days, most people, especially athletes coming out of high school and college in the age of the NIL, in a city like Las Vegas, I don't know, man.
What did you say about the type of players that are being drafted? What'd you call them?
Migos, man. They just Migos with football, man. Migos with a football in their hand. I heard the Migos was athletes too. Some of them, a couple of them, right?
I guess Quavo could shoot.
That's not a knock.
No, not at all.
It's not a knock at all. But I mean,
it's a new generation.
It's a new generation, and they not about to hurt their feelings. You know what I'm saying? They're a little more
sensitive.
Yeah, they got a little more into how they feel every day as opposed to going out and hitting somebody. I think. I don't know.
I mean, I look at.
I worry about that part. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I worry about that. I'm on the fence with this whole Raider thing because it feels strong to me. I feel like Mark Davis is defying things that we normally just crumble to, right? I believe that it takes time to build a winning culture, and you're gonna have to lose before you win. Mm-hmm. And like that's easy to say after coming off of a playoff season, the first one, and I don't know how long. But he's rolling the dice. It's his team. And
let me. I'm glad you brought up Mark. I'm glad you brought up MD because, quite frankly, I'm tired of people giving the dude hell. And people could talk about his haircut and his appearance or whatever. He don't care. I wouldn't care either.
Nah, for real.
You know, true story. We were at a Gridiron Greats dinner, me, him, and Tommy White, and I was at the table with them. This is a few years ago, and Tommy told him, "I'm gonna get you a barber and a tailor when you come out here." You know, and Mark laughs about it. He's like,
for real?
Yeah, he's like, "I'm good." You know, it's MD. But the thing is you can't talk about him from a business standpoint because he's really wrote the blueprint and changed the game for every stadium deal in the NFL. Look at what Buffalo and Tennessee's getting. The same type of deal almost to a T that he got here in Las Vegas by the state of Nevada. You look at what he's done with the Aces. You look at what he's done with other things that he's has his hands in, and it's successful.
Yeah.
He took over something that for years, as great as Al Davis was, and as much as he meant to the NFL and football in general, and how he is the pioneer for people of color and women in the sport of football. Mark inherited a mess that was going to take years to change. And it's been years since he got, and it's just now getting to a point where it's like, you're up with the times.
Hey man, like people get mad at all the Oakland people who had just been there. You know what I'm saying? Who've been through it. And the LA people for that matter. That the end of the run in LA, man, it was terrible, man. Coliseum was terrible. The Coliseum now is something totally different from what it was then. For real. And then go to Oakland and it's the same trash, man. Last time I shot a game in Oakland, bro.
The final game of the year.
Man, it was so many cups, taped Coca-Cola cups to the ceiling to catch all of the leaks. Just embarrassing, man. I've been to 2 games where like the bathrooms had backed up. Can you imagine? Like we gotta walk through all of this to get up. Come on, man.
And you always got some fresh shoes on too.
And look now, get Allegiant Stadium. I mean, it's just fun, bro. It's just fun. It's fun on the sidelines. It's fun in the seats. The presentation is great. Like, I feel like we a real football team as opposed to like playing on a damn baseball field.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I know it's easy for me to say, and even though like I've said to you, and you know this to be true, and if I wasn't a Packers fan, if God came down and said, Joe, I'm going to kill your kids and take away your brothers and your best friend and everything, or you stop rooting for the Packers, I'm be like, yo, I'm a Raider fan.
Okay.
Like it's because
see where you're going to take that.
Growing up in Southern California, Bo Jackson is my favorite all-time running back. Like,
yeah, mine too.
You know what I mean? Like growing up, going to the Coliseum for those Raider games with my mom's husband, it was bomb. Like,
yeah, man, that was it's a tough ass team too.
Greg Townsend,
just tough,
Eddie Anderson.
Man. People was getting lit up.
Howie Long,
week just lights out, lit up. I missed that. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. But
missed that.
But I say this.
We about to lose for a while though, Joe.
No. I understand. But bro, listen. Have some patience. Like Mark said, Rome wasn't built in a day.
They don't want to have no patience, man.
Hey,
don't nobody want to hear that.
You cannot have high expectations and have no patience.
Man, listen.
Quoted by Mos Def.
No, they don't care about that, man. They don't nobody care about this. The West Coast, they don't listen to Mos Def over there. You understand?
But
it just is what
maybe they listen to
like him or not.
Hey.
I like Mos Def. Hey. They ain't trying to hear that.
Did you see him and Talib Kweli on Saturday Night? Oh my God. I'm so glad their Black Star is back. And Chappelle killed it.
That was on, man. That was a good damn episode.
Yes.
For real.
I don't usually
But don't nobody want to hear that patient shit, bro. Don't nobody want to hear that right now. And I understand how they feel. The bottom line is we're about to lose for a while because Mark Davis is
taking the long approach to winning versus the short.
Stuck to this regime. This is the regime he wants. He likes the structure. Honestly, I think we need a bit of structure in this city.
I think this is the first time he's liked the GM and the head coach at the same time.
You think?
Mm-hmm. I don't think I think it's pretty open that he didn't like Dennis Allen, but he liked Reggie McKenzie.
Mm-hmm.
He loves
Jack.
He liked John Gruden.
Did he like Jack Del Rio?
You seen how Jack got let go, right?
I mean, did he like him before that?
I don't think that he didn't.
Okay.
But, I mean, he liked John Gruden.
Yeah.
I don't know how he felt about Mike Mayock. I never heard anything to say that he was in love with Mike Mayock. So I don't know how he really felt about him.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. You know what I will look forward to?
What's that? Mike Mayock on Ansel Network draft.
These weird drafts should be over.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Where we got to scratch our heads and then come up with something to say so that we can defend this ridiculous pick. Like, that's been happening for years, man. I'm tired of that shit. No lie.
No more Damon Arnett's.
No lie. And I tell you this much. This keeps happening to me.
Oh, God,
It
here we go.
keeps happening to me.
Play the
My
violin, Trish.
teams stay in shambles. Across the pond,
Oh,
literally the greatest football, soccer player I've ever seen play in my life has literally just disrespected the club more than I've ever seen a player do a team while under contract.
so if you don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is
goodness.
widely considered the greatest soccer player to ever play the game, that includes Pele, that includes
What's saying? You're gonna make people want to fight, man. Go on to
I'm
your
just
point.
I'm just saying, okay.
Doing fighting stuff now.
I'm just saying that they call him the GOAT, right? Am I right?
Young people do.
Okay. I don't think he's better than Pele. That's just me. But whatever. He went on Piers Morgan's show. I think it was a Piers Morgan Uncensored or something like that.
Whatever.
And ripped Manchester United. Not just the Glazer family, the owners, not just the presidents in the front office, his manager, Eric Ten Hag, players, Wayne Rooney.
Jeez.
Like, I mean, he just set, I mean, if you're talking about annihilating, the only person that he didn't do that to was Sir Alex Ferguson.
Better not have had.
You know, and
Better not have.
but he literally has said he had no respect for the current manager, Ten Hag, which maybe because Ten Hag's holding him accountable and making him, not letting him do what he wants to do. And this is my style of play. A lot like Josh McDaniels, play my style of play, or hey, you're not the guy I wanted here. You're here. I inherited you.
You mentioned the way that you coach. I think that was last week.
I'm a player's coach.
And you had a method of dealing with players of a certain ilk.
Yes,
And you got that from
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson saying this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that Ten Hag is that guy.
Oh, I can tell you he's not. Looking at him.
Cristiano, ever since he left United, when he was at United, he was playing with a bunch of stars that he had to prove himself to become a star.
Right.
And he's never had to do that again. All the other places that he's played, they've pretty much bent over backwards for him because the amount of money that just his presence brought them kind of caused them to do that.
Billions.
And not only that, he showed out on the pitch.
Yeah.
He showed out on the pitch. Normally, you don't mind that situation because he wins. Like, yes, it's a shit show, but it comes with winning. And you just put the type of players around him that can play their roles and not necessarily challenge his. Like, you don't want Cristiano's backup to ever perform as well as him, because it's going to be a problem in the locker room.
Right. I get that.
The reason why that hasn't been an issue is because there was never anybody that could perform as well as him. Period. That was going to be on that team. But now at this age, he can't do the things that he used to do. In this particular system. And that's the part that everybody who hates this situation is leaving out. Like, I want to wear a fan hat.
Put it
I'm
on.
a member of a media, and I have to be truthful about the situation.
Okay.
There were some things that came out in the interview that players that have come to United and left have said behind closed doors and didn't print.
What's that?
That for the club to be so big, for the club to make so much money, why is it run like a chicken farm?
Because it's the Glazers.
Why do they have the same facilities that they had 20 years ago? Why is the stadium falling apart? Chipped paint, beat up. Listen, I went and took a tour of the stadium. I went and I was underwhelmed. couldn't believe it.
Well, he also said
I had been to, that was my third English stadium.
where were the other two?
That level, Tottenham and Arsenal.
Okay, Arsenal's probably was crazy.
Crazy. And Tottenham's had just gotten built, so it's like it's not really fair to compare.
Okay,
But I couldn't believe how bad Old Trafford was and how just dated everything was. Like Allegiant Stadium looks like it could be on the Jetsons compared to what Old Trafford looks like. And that's why I say this keeps happening to me, because it reminds me of the Oakland Coliseum. It is just leaps and bounds behind the competition. And so I'm wondering all of this time, like, why aren't the great players wanting to come here? Well, damn, if you look at Barcelona's facilities and Real Madrid's facilities and Manchester City, oh my God.
what about Wrexham?
I don't know nothing about Wrexham, man.
Oh,
But so it's two sides to this coin. But there's a badge that should be worn as a Manchester United great, and furthermore a Sir Alex pupil,
yes.
that he broke the code on that. And I don't think that United fans are ever gonna forgive him for this one, and he probably should have. I know he's played his last.
Let me ask you. Let me flip this though. He literally took the Glazers to task, talking about he uses them. They use the team just to make their billions,
Yes,
and that they don't put money back into the team,
correct.
into the facilities, into updating Old Trafford. And he said they have the same cooks and chefs that were there when he was 21, 22.
Yeah,
So maybe this is his way of forcing change because he loves United. He has that much respect for Sir Alex and what United did for him in his career. And this is his way of forcing change. And okay, you know what? I got enough cachet and my balls are big enough to say it. Because if anybody else says it, they're not me. I've made almost $1 billion in my career. I've accomplished everything on the pitch.
check this out, bro. Let me stop you for a second, please. Karim Benzema is the star of Real Madrid. He just won an award which is called the Ballon d'Or. That's basically the MVP of all of soccer.
Mm-hmm.
That's Cristiano's spot. He's mad. Cannot win the Ballon d'Or if you aren't on the pitch. He's got players that he knows that he's better than starting in front of him because they bought into a system that he doesn't believe in because he can't play it.
So you're talking about Rashford?
Whoever. All of the
balling,
players
bro.
up front. Every player we have up front, Cristiano is appalled that they are starting in front of him, and rightfully so. It's nothing you can say to him about that because at his age, he's still better than all of them. The problem is this particular system is exposing his weaknesses, and his weakness is age. It's only age. There are tons of other places that he can go to and be highly successful because he's not going to be asked to do everything that he's going to be asked to do in this system. But this system is not about to change for Cristiano Ronaldo.
And that's where I was going to go. That's exactly where I was going. Ten Hag isn't going anywhere.
No, sir.
And because they're having success without him on the pitch.
More success without him on the pitch.
And they've already said in January, you're free to go when the transfer window opens up. You're free to go.
Hold on. You realize that that's the second time. See, nobody's talking about all of this.
Well, no, I'm just telling you. I'm saying.
But
for those that don't know. I'm explaining. You could get in that, but the transfer window is basically the trade period,
right?
Where you have a month to make all your moves. And you have it twice a year in the summer and in the winter.
This next one coming up is the second one.
Yes,
that they've allowed him to leave. This is not the first time. He's billing it like they stopped him from leaving the first time. What stopped him was nobody else wanted him. Simple as that. He wanted to go to a contender, and no contenders wanted him with whatever comes with him, whether that was his price,
ego,
whether that was his ego, or whether that was just technically it doesn't work. Cristiano is not at a point where he can play defense.
No.
Can't be asked to play defense.
He's Karl Malone staying back on breaks.
So the best teams out there right now are aggressive on offense, meaning that they have to be willing and able to play defense on a drop of a dime. And he can't do it anymore. He can't be expected to do it anymore.
Do you think
this is just the worst place for him?
Do you think that he broke the seal, the Man U seal, so we can go to Man City?
I don't really know. What I think is that I think this is all petty because I'm looking at the timing of it and I'm looking at his prior actions. The things that I said in the beginning are really valid when it comes down to his position and his perceived position. From what I'm told, he has and always has had a huge entourage of people who just kind of do everything for him. They're just a bunch of yes people. You can't really be opinionated if you want to be down in the clique, and he moves around as the king of his little system. And he can't command that role from the bench. He can't. Messi's out there playing. Benzema winning Ballon d'Ors. Like he can't. It's driving him absolutely nuts. He also is looking in the mirror and he's saying, wait a minute, I'm getting old. Like, I got to get my last years in.
Do you think that the rape allegation out here in Vegas that was dismissed, I believe, where he was found out he was acquitted of it, whatever it was, that also plays a role in some of the thinking why people don't want to deal with them?
I don't think so. I think it's strictly about football, man. I think it's strictly about football. Like, if you're able to play for this long and be that excellent, at some point, Father Time is going to creep in. And you're not going to be able to do everything you were able to do. And it just so happens that his game, like most people have their guy already. The guy that does what he does, they already have that guy. All the contenders, the best teams in Germany, the best teams in France, the best teams in Spain, the best teams in England, they already have a version of him. So why do they need to pay him more than what they pay the younger version of him to do what he does when that guy will play defense too? So like the Premier League it's the roughest, toughest, legitimate top level soccer league out there. It's faster, it's bigger, it's stronger. Everything that happens in the Premier League, it's not about the beautiful game. When you go to Spain and Italy and all of these places, it's technical, it's passing, it's they Yogo Bonito, it's the beautiful game. In England, it's speed, power. I'm coming in to tackle you. I might take your legs from under you. It's a wrap.
He tried to be slick.
That ain't what it is for him, man.
He said Yoga Bonito.
Yeah, man, that's what it is. Yeah,
trying to get a little Spanglish.
No, I think that's Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken.
Portuguese.
I think it might be Spanish. I don't know, but that's what they call it, and it's different. It's different in England. So I don't think that if it's his skill set, I think he needs to go back to Europe or his best bet.
This is you and I have talked about this.
Best bet.
Coming to LA.
Get to LA, man. Pick one of them. I'd love for it to be the Galaxy, but LAFC, it don't matter. Either one of them.
What if it was he came to the Vegas expansion team in the MLS?
Come on, man. Listen, if you want to be the king again, come to America. The best thing you can do is not go back to Manchester for any reason.
He said, come to America. Talking like he's Prince Hakeem.
Saying, man.
Man, we talk about the pitch and Ronaldo and how great he is. And Manchester United is unarguably the greatest European football team to ever.
You think?
Yeah.
You're going to start people wanting to fight.
I don't care.
Real Madrid is not going to like that.
That means they're watching the show, so I want that. That's fine. That's fine. Man U is the greatest European soccer team, football team around.
I ain't got to say it. Y'all know what I think about this whole situation. But I am like, this little media thing is causing me to have to really think rationally about,
Don't you hate that?
Yeah, it does. I do. Because I'd love to be like cussing them out and doing all this ranting and raving like I see the fans doing. But they hurt. It's like there's a sense of pride. There's like I say, man, it's a badge that comes with supporting that team. And for somebody to do this from within, like you just feel betrayed. Like I remember putting the reel on when I never forget, I saw Rio Ferdinand on Facebook, and he was just sitting there and he had on some shades, and he was just gave a slow smile like the Joker. Smile just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I knew something had happened. And the day before, people were saying that he was in talks with Man City. He's in talks to go to Man City. I'm like, Cristiano going to Man City? Like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, that would have made me sick to my stomach. And they say Sir Alex got to him at the 11th hour.
Yeah, he said that in the Piers Morgan interview. He's like, Sir Alex called me and says, we don't play for Man City. And he said, okay, coach.
There it is.
So you did say that, and I think you said it on a show last year when it happened.
Yeah, man.
Should have went viral.
I mean, look, that is the greatest coach in sports history to me. More so than John Wooden, more so than Phil Jackson, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. That is the greatest coach I have ever seen do it. I've seen his post-game. I've seen his pre-game. I've heard stories about him in the locker room. I've watched his interviews. You talk about either you buy in or you bounce. There is no way Cristiano would have did this interview if Sir Alex was still the coach. There was no way he would be behaving like this. Because first of all, he wouldn't be here. He wouldn't be here. If he didn't fit Sir Alex's system, he'd be sold. Period. It's about winning. So no one player is bigger than the manager. No one player is bigger than the club. Goodbye, Cristiano.
Kind of sounds like Josh McDaniels, what he was talking about.
Hey, I told you, I'm not so necessarily, I'm on the fence. You know what I'm saying? I see brighter days ahead if they're able to stick with this.
Don't you mean better days?
Brighter. No, brighter, because they're dark right now. Dark.
You just missed the whole thing for your song.
That's that song's about death, man. I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about life.
The season's dead. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say that. Just don't say that. Jeez. Man, my tickets went for $90 this week, bro. $90. Two punk ass Colts fans. Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not sorry.
That was like 3 silver and black margaritas. Speaking of silver and black margaritas, hey, Allegiant Stadium next Monday night.
Is it happening, man?
Okay, look.
Is it happening?
It's happening. The NIAA, well, so Shadow Ridge put it out there, and I got confirmation as well for some. The 1A or the 1A through 4A championships for high school football out here are taking place at Allegiant Stadium.
Okay.
Culminating at the 7:00 game, Shadow Ridge is taking on, once again, the defending champion Silverado in prime time, baby. And
hey, what about your little video? I'm not gonna let you escape.
Which video?
Shadow Ridge made you a nice little video.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Shadow Ridge, good looking.
Yeah.
No, look,
that was a great job. Who's your editor? We need it.
probably the number 2, since he's the one that was like, he's been on my head.
Oh, he's been on your head.
I like it though. Keep it coming.
That kid is beefy with you, huh?
Well, no, the thing is,
they feel disrespected, Joe.
Okay, let me.
I'm gonna like you disrespecting them.
I'm gonna break this down as simple as I can.
When the last time they lost, Joe? When is the last time they lost?
9 games ago.
9 games.
When's the last time Silverado lost?
We understand that. Okay, we ain't talking about that.
I am. Hey, this is what we're talking about.
Bro, these dudes is on a 9-game winning streak, man. You ain't got no team on a 9-game winning streak.
Yes, I do. I got a team on a 20-something game winning streak.
And the Packers ain't.
I'm talking about Silverado.
Shadow Ridge got a better record than the Packers.
Yeah.
Put some respect on their name.
They got a better record than the Raiders.
Hey, I'm putting some respect on their name.
No, look, I'm about to explain. So really, it's like just like we talk about the pantheon of LA sports. There's certain teams. The pantheon of high school football right now is you have Gorman, and then there is a step down, and then maybe a couple steps. Then it's Liberty, and in that group where Liberty's at, there's a group of 3 schools. Realistically, there's 3 schools, and that's Silverado, DP, and Arborview, and there's a tick or 2 down, and then it's Shadow Ridge, and then there's a cliff. That is Las Vegas high school football. They are ranked and have been ranked 6th all year. That's where they're at. They're, quite frankly, they're not better than Arborview. Arborview beat them. They're not better than DP.
Where are those schools?
They're on 5A.
Where are they now?
They're sitting out.
Okay.
They've been knocked out.
That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Say this when you're saying all your stats. Say where they are. They're at home.
They're at home.
Shadow Ridge is about to be playing in the stadium on Monday night.
Against a very good Silverado team. Again, this is a game that, quite frankly, we watched last year, and it was really the same outcome. Halftime, 1-score game, Shadow Ridge and Las Vegas, 35-28. Second half, Shadow Ridge blows them out.
Listen, man.
I'm just saying, it's all these have been the 2 best 4A teams all year, and it really hasn't been close. To be very honest with you,
you need to talk about the fact them boys are on a 9-game winning streak.
No, that's
great. They
great.
believe that they can go in here and win this game, and they have a right to believe it.
100%. I don't want them to feel in any other way. Shadow Ridge, go beat them. Go beat them. If you have any doubt, you're not going to beat them. You need to go in there and beat them. At the same time, we're talking about Silverado. And Silverado
be easy.
That's why he's laughing, because he's trying to gas this up. he can't front for the camera now. Like,
I'm not. Listen, man. Don't put me in that with you, bro.
Oh, too late, you mister.
Don't put me in that with you, man. You gotta put some respect on Shadow Ridge.
I've never disrespected him. No,
that's why they clowned you. They felt disrespected.
Hey, I'm glad I was your motivation. Material. I'm glad I was their motivation. I'm glad I was your bulletin board material.
You said Las Vegas was going to beat them.
No, I said Las Vegas is a team that could beat them.
Las Vegas.
They did. They did.
Good Lord.
I'm glad we didn't go to that game.
Yeah, you said that was going to be, that's going to be the game.
You too.
Oh, that's going to be the one.
I hope Trish plays it back. Yeah, that is the game. I hope she.
I said that because I thought it was going to be closer than that. And I just knew what the outcome of the game we were covering was going to be.
Exactly.
I literally knew. And here, let me just say this from a different standpoint. People don't get to play each other. And I understand this is the way it goes in Las Vegas.
We need to talk about that.
I know we're not going to get to see, we're going to see Silverado and Shadow Ridge. We saw that already. We saw it last year. Matter of fact, we're going to put that highlight up.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, so we could stroke the fire a little bit. You feel me?
Add the gas to it, baby.
But when it comes down to a team, the cohesiveness between the coaches, between the offense and the defense, last 2 years, Silverado's best team out here to me. Now, I know if they played Gorman, they would get housed because Gorman has more athletes all over the field. Everybody else, they can put up a fight. I think Liberty would beat them because of the trenches. They got more size. They got more bodies. Everybody else, they can put up a fight.
Now,
close games. DP, yep, sorry. They'll put up a fight. Arborview, yep, they'll put up a fight. Sorry, you can call me what you want. I don't care. I watched all of y'all multiple seasons now from right there on your sideline. Like, we don't do nothing at franchise but tell you the truth. That's it. Now, we'll get it wrong. As you can see, my man next to me. But it's just the truth. Yeah, so when we expecting, when the bulk of Silverado's team leaves, they go up to the higher competition and they'll lose some games, and y'all will refer back to this and say that we was wrong.
You know what's funny is,
but whatever.
I got called a dick rider for Silverado, right?
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is
strong words.
Thank you, number 2. But
yo, why you blowing him out, man? Leave him alone. Leave him alone, man.
But I will say this. We've been to Silverado twice this year.
Yeah.
We've been to Gorman 3 times.
Yep.
We've been to Liberty 4 times.
Yep.
It's not like we're just going to Silverado.
No,
Like,
not at all. Not at all. I mean, I commend Silverado because they impressed me. I watched everybody. I'm gonna tell the truth. DP impressed me this year.
They did. Me too.
So
I told it to Gio on the sideline.
yeah, exactly.
I told him on the sideline on Friday night after we left the Gorman game and went to the UNLV game.
I like what Lake Mead Christian Academy is building.
Love what they're doing.
I like what they're building. So I'm just gonna call it like I see it, man. I'm out there shooting and I'm listening and I'm watching. I'm looking at y'all's discipline. I'm looking at what coaching you're taking and what you're tuning out. I play ball. I'm around ball all the time. I'm on the sideline with the Raiders. I'm on the sideline with UNLV. I see it from all levels. We shoot NYS games, and you're not gonna fool me and this guy
At all.
You're just not. I mean,
but
you can woof online. We don't mind that at all. We love it,
and I want
y'all. We absolutely want y'all. To
engage,
definitely engage, and big yourself up because
Yes.
you deserve it.
Yes, you only have 48 high school games,
Exactly.
at all. And I want to talk about the coaches, and I want to every coach from that's remaining. So that's Browner, Coach O, and then the Shadow Ridge coaching staff, but and all the staffs in general, Coach Gibbs, everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't get paid enough. Like I know head coaches are mostly, and I'd say 97% of them are teachers there, and they get their teacher salary. But you get a stipend.
Speak on it, man.
You get a stipend, and you have to distribute this amongst your entire coaching staff, and you're putting in 40 plus hours of coaching, from film study to practice to all the weight training, all the extra stuff, right?
So wait, you got to pay your whole staff off the stipend?
Yeah, like okay, so I believe it's like when I was coaching, it was like 5, maybe 6 G's for the entire staff. I got like $1,200
Per what?
for the entire staff.
Per what? What do you mean? For how long?
From when you start in August and you end in November.
$6,000 for the season
Yes.
for a whole high school football staff.
Yes. So you're
Wow.
basically coaching because you love what you're doing and you love the kids and you love football.
Wow. I did not know that.
So, when you make a little bit, you really make peanuts for what you're doing. And yet you can't get transparency from the governing body about where a game is. Why hasn't the link for tickets have been out yet? There's no excuse. It's when this comes out 5 days before the game. Like
Man.
why is it that you have your 5A team going up and playing at Carson High School, Carson City High School, and you're not giving them an opportunity to play at a $1 billion NFL stadium? That's a once in a lifetime deal for some of these kids. I'm not talking about Gorman kids that'll be going and playing college ball or Minot kids or Silverado kids or whomever. I'm talking about little Johnny, that's a senior, that sees the field because they're getting blown out or they're blowing somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the opportunity for them to get on a $1 billion field and play, see what it's like. It's an opportunity for the families to travel down and enjoy it. Take time. It's not a big deal, but yet you're having them go play at a high school field where it's good. And I don't care that it's going to be cold as hell out there. That doesn't, I don't care.
You don't care.
No.
I do, sucker.
Well, no, I'm just saying you could be 71, 72 degrees indoors
Yeah.
and you can have refreshments. And then guess what? You can stay and watch the other games. So you make it an experience.
Good point.
But yet, no, because you got some teams up north that we don't want to travel because we're just going to lose anyway. Literally, they've gone down in games Tate's junior year and told Kenny Sanchez, the NIAA told him, take your starters out. You're beating them too much. So you know what happened? They put Dorian in and they ran the offense and they still put up 35 extra points. And then it's like, oh, stay out of just do what's right, NIAA.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's for the kids. It's not about the schools. It's about the kids. And for them to miss an opportunity to play at Allegiant Stadium and then to have the coaches in public schools get paid peanuts, there's got to be something that changes with that. These coaches have to get paid something for what they do. And it's too much time, blood, sweat, and tears, and love to be paid a couple $100, maybe $500.
Man.
Don't have a big staff.
Boy, I did not know that. That shocked me. But I mean, here we are at the end of the season, and you know, a lot of y'all that I spoke to this season, that I watched y'all do your job this season. I want to say thank you. I want to commend you for what you do. I want to say to the players, man, when you giving these men a hard time, you need to understand what part they're going to play in your manhood. You need to understand a lot of them have families. They got kids at home, and they love you just like they love their own. They just play a real integral part. And once you guys are our age, you're going to remember the things that they taught you when it comes down to being a man within a team. 9 times out of 10, wherever you work, whatever you do as a man, you're going to be a part of a team. And this is where you learn. And to find out that them cats are making crumbs to do it, that's just a testament to how much they love y'all and how much your respect you guys should give them. So I want to say to all the coaches out here in Las Vegas, thank y'all for what you do. Thank you for a great season. Good luck to y'all in the off season. Hope you come out and win another couple of games. We love y'all. And good luck to everybody playing for a state championship this weekend.
Yeah, by the time that the next show airs, we'll be thawed out from going to Reno. And we, you know, that may happen at Allegiant Stadium Monday when we record it on Tuesday. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And
we'll have us a champion next time.
And you know what? I'll say this. Whoever wins the 4A title, I'll have something to say about you next Tuesday or on the show.
Oh, God. On that note,
I'm being nice. The show is directed by Trisha Lacoste from Franchise Sports Media. Go ahead and follow us on all social media at TheFranchiseLV. Hey, by the way, buy the franchise shirts, the FUNR shirts. Go to franchisesportsmedia.com. Hit the store, purchase it, $25. Be one of the only people that have it. See you next week.
Holla.
Original gorilla in the midst. Lead in assist. No look dish, no bricks. I come to set the pick for the youth. Young blood roll straight to the hood. Any man come test you run through. Run the whole play, they know the new.